Finally. I almost fell asleep waiting. As usual, my predictions are correct. You, yes you, come with me.
Are you some sort of dirty? Sorry, but we're not really interested.
You're not from this world, are you?
How do you know about that?
How? Because I'm a master of true astrology. If you've no other questions, let's be off. Fine. I'll exercise a little patience and explain. I am astrologist Mona Magistus, but considering that it is most rude to misremember names, I allow others to call me Mona. I am on a mission from my master to retrieve a certain box from Mondstadt. It was part of an agreement she made with a friend 50 years ago. But she isn't as spry as she used to be, so now it's up to me.
Not sure what getting some box back has to do with us. Why do you need us to come along?
Well, that's because I would also like to take on the Guardian of the Box. My master and her friend contended in the mystic arts all their lives without a clear victor. If I triumph here, then I will show myself to be superior to my master. Well, I want to prove the power and status of astrology, to be precise. Now, from my predictions, I know that my master's friend has left Mondstadt, leaving her successor as the current guardian of that box. Like me, that successor must also be one who has surpassed their teacher. I must not be careless, but I would prefer to assure my victory in this contest, and upon giving it some thought, you came to mind. The knowledge passed down to me from my master must be passed on in turn. If I were to bring my disciple to meet her, then the lead is already mine, no? And you are Mondstadt's great hero, my equal in status, so... Come on, you don't actually have to become my disciple. You just need to act the part. There's something in it for you as well, should you come with me to get that box. Once I meet that successor and have a chance to exchange knowledge with them, I should be able to read your fate more accurately. Then I will have answers for you, even regarding such distant and foggy matters as gods and kin.
That does seem much faster than searching the land country by country.
A wise decision. That said, I would like to pay a certain place a visit before we go. This travel companion of yours, do you know anything of her origins? No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate. Oh? So you don't know where she comes from either? You mean the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius? Her constellation is Leo Minor, which represents strength and responsibility shouldered too young. Though the lioness has been separated from her pride for a long time, she grows from strength to strength, and the day will come when she is ready to return as its glorious leader. Albedo? I envy his ability to solely focus on his research without getting bogged down in mundane, worldly affairs. What a wonderful life. If that batty old lady hadn't had one too many screws loose, perhaps that's the life I'd be living by now myself. Ah, yes, Alice's daughter. She's in the custody of the Knights of Favonius, and Albedo looks after her too. She's blessed to have Trifolium as her constellation, which represents good luck. I'm slightly envious. Although, if I'd been blessed with good luck, I suppose I never would have had the great honor of running into that old woman, would I? Diluc Ragnavinder. His constellation Noctua represents vigilance in the darkness of night, a lone guardian keeping watch, longing for the splendor of dawn, yet destined to solitude in the dark days preceding its arrival. Or wait, maybe Noctua's the one tied to wealth. Kaya Albric. He's a Pavo Ocelus, destined for greatness and grandeur. and to hide ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance. He believes he has made a clean break with his past, but one day fate will catch up with him. When it does, he will have a major decision to make. A Tempus Fugit. The constellation derives its name from the hourglass and stands for knowledge and time, or rather, the trade-off between them. As each grain of sand falls down, a moment of time, of life even, dies for good. To stop the unrelenting flow of sand, one would have to turn the hourglass on its side. But once the sand comes to rest, it remains motionless forever. Maybe becomes lazy is more accurate than comes to rest in this case. Venti, the bard that sits around doing nothing all day? What's so interesting about him? Sure, I guess I can take a look. That's weird. The scry glass, I can't see a thing. This wind, I can't open my eyes. No, my hat, my clothes, stop. The wind's going to strip all my clothes off. Make it stop, make it stop. All right, I'll never do this again. You want to chat? For fun? Oh, I don't usually have spare time for such activities, especially when I have so many columns left to write. Then again, since it's you, it might be worth it. A change of pace once in a while isn't such a bad thing. Income. From astrology. You can't use things like Mora to determine the value of astrology. You need to understand, hydromancy is the one and only means of discerning people's true destiny in the whole of Teyvat. No matter how much Mora or gems you might have, the value of fate is quite simply incalculable. Perhaps not the smartest question you might have had for me. You want me to explain how astrology works? I'm not sure you'd understand even if I told you, but since you ask, the method I use is called hydromancy, the art of inferring fate from the illusory reflection of the stars on the water's surface. The inverted reflection in the water is an image of the heavens from within which the truth of our world can be observed. It is the one and only success story of that old lady's research endeavors. Mona Magistus, the astrologist. We came up with that name together, the old lady and me. She said it had a nice ring to it, but then she started calling me Meg for short, which is obviously unnecessary because clearly Mona is already suffice for a shorter name. No, you are not allowed to call me that. It's embarrassing. I knew I shouldn't have told you. The golden rule all fortune tellers abide by is never offer advice. Only state the results of the divination. Otherwise, you risk your fate becoming tangled up with that of your subjects. But for you, I will make an exception to this rule, because our fates have been intertwined from the beginning. My hobby, stargazing. In this all-too-real world in which we live, we all need to look up from the dust once in a while and fix our gaze on the stars in a spirit of wonder. That, plus the whole thing about me being an astrologer. The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Also, I still need to renew my journal subscriptions, not to mention pay the rent. Which one to prioritize? I'll pay off the celestial globe first. If I leave it any longer, they'll sell out, and then I'll never get my hands on one. Oh, salad. Salad is by far the best food in the world. Cheap to buy, easy to whip up, filling, and it's the most convenient thing there is when you're working on a column or fixing some equipment. I mean, who's got time for a proper dinner anyway? You know, all those overpriced fancy foods. Personally, I think it's uncivilized and frankly dangerous to splash out and indulge yourself every time you have a little hunger pang.